Now we're going to switch gears and talk about something new here on The Current. It is National Invasive Species Awareness Week. Locally invasive plants and insects can strain resources in our QCA ecosystems and drive out native plants and animals. So here with some tips and tricks is Robert Sparts, District Manager at the Davey Tree Expert Company in the Quad Cities. All right, Robert, thank you so much for being here today. I want to start broad. Why should people care so much about invasive species?
Well, this is the week that we focus on positive actions that people can take to prevent and spread invasive species. And, the reason care is because we don't want our native species kind of disappearing from, the landscape and, the nation.
Yeah, and I want to start with some insects, kind of the most common invasive species people think about. What are some invasive bugs that you find in the QCA?
Sure. The easy one for me is going to be emerald ash borer. That moved into the Quad Cities areas around 2015. It's been destroying ash trees for a number of years now. We're basically at the point where if the tree hasn't been treated, we're probably at the point of considering removal. Things that you can do to help. Older suggestions used to be not transporting firewood, things like that. But we're basically getting to the point now where the levels have gone down low enough. Treatment is still necessary to keep the trees alive if they are still there. But it's not. We're almost getting closer to where we can consider maybe not treating the trees, and say in maybe 5 or 6 more years.
Okay, that's really fascinating. We've heard about emerald ash borer, like you said, for so many years. It's been found in all 99 Iowa counties, all of our local counties in both Illinois and Iowa. Is this decrease because there are just less trees for these insects to get to, or is the insects population going down?
Correct. It's more about the trees just not being there anymore. So they kind of start to kind of wean themselves out of the area as well. So the lack of food source is going to drive that away. Similar to Japanese beetles, which is another invasive insect that we did see peak probably 7 or 8 years ago. Was really bad. And now it's not that the food source isn't there. A lot of that can be local temperatures and soil temperatures where the grubs and the larvae actually feed. And we've seen them kind of decline over years. But I think Japanese beetles are something that we could see a resurgence on given the mild winter that we just had as well, too.
Well, another bug that has been top of mind for a lot of people in this country is the lanternfly. There's a massive campaign for several years now on the East Coast to get rid of it. We know the populations are growing and spreading, though. Are lanternflies in our area yet?
Yeah, so the spotted lanternfly has not been located in our area yet. There is some possibilities of it being in the Chicago area, but the market so far has not shown that it's made it to the Quad Cities. Now, the main thing to point out is as we kind of I know we're going to transition maybe at some point into the invasive tree species list, but tree of heaven is actually an invasive tree species that's in our area, and that is actually the host plant for the spotted lanternfly. So, kind of two invasive, non-native, one plant and one insect that are in our area that are wreaking havoc.
Yeah, I wanted to
So.
talk about the trees. How can a tree be invasive, and what are some other invasive species you encounter in the Quad Cities?
Yeah, so a lot of the invasive trees, are trees that are fast growing. They take over space from other plants that are desirable, are native species of trees. A lot of those, mulberries, box elder maples, the tree of heavens that I mentioned. As we get closer east side of the river, buckthorn becomes a big problem. It starts to take over a lot of our native forest areas and can really be the massive population of woody material in a forest. So, you know, identification, removal. With mulberries, they're very fruit-heavy trees, and so animals like to eat them, and they like to spread them very easily.
So if you find an invasive tree in your own backyard, what do you do to protect your yard against these?
Some of it will depend on the severity and the location. A lot of these trees are, as I said, they're fast-growing trees, so their wood is weak. And so they can be more prone to storms. And if you know anything about the Quad Cities, we do see our fair share of wind activity, snow, freezing rain, that kind of thing. So, the main thing would be to have a certified arborist or somebody qualified to come out and take a look at the trees and determine the risk level of that tree.
Robert, thank you so much for your time today on National Invasive Species Week. I really appreciate this.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And if you guys at home want to share this story, we have our online version up at WQ80.com. Just click on the As Seen on TV tab.